Hello, good morning, and welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm a writer who likes food, and today I'm going to be doing a What I Eat in a Day fall edition. So for breakfast, I'm going to be making a scone. I don't know why, but to me, scones feel very fancy. I think it's probably just because I never really ate them when I was younger, and now it's not like I can just go to a cafe and order them because I can't eat gluten anymore.
But anyway, I woke up today and I kind of wanted a scone. So I'm just gonna start by mixing in the dry ingredients. Usually when I bake, I like to combine all the wet ingredients first, then add in the flour and other stuff. But actually there is a technique where you mix all the dry ingredients first, then cut cold or semi-room temperature butter into it. Here's the butter. I'm gonna need a knife. So it's supposed to resemble coarse crumbs, something like this. And I did go in with my hands a little bit just to give it a better mix. I'm going to add in the half and half now and mix again. And you can add in any milk. I'm mostly using half and half just because I have a carton of it in the fridge that I have to finish. I don't know why I'm so out of it today, but I added way too much half and half, so I'm adding in more flour, and I also forgot the sugar, so I'm gonna add that in as well. I think 1.5 tablespoons. This is also going to be a lemon scone because I have a lot of mixed berry jam that will pair really well with it. I just added in some lemon juice, and I would have added it in with the half and half, but I didn't want the milk to split.
I'm also adding in lemon zest for extra flavor. I feel like lemons in baked goods are kind of divisive. Like, the people that like them, but the people that don't, really don't.
And I'll just give that one last mix to make the dough. And I say dough, not batter, because this is gonna come out with a pretty thick consistency, or at least that's what should happen. This is the final dough.
This is about as close to triangles as I'm gonna get because the dough is pretty sticky. This is gonna go in the oven for around 12 to 15 minutes at 350 degrees. You can see behind me that I've already started preheating the oven. And usually I wouldn't take the time to actually bake something for breakfast. Actually, most days I don't even eat breakfast, which I know is not the greatest thing, but I had time today, so I thought, why not?
I'm also debating on whether or not I should make a lemon glaze.
It's not that difficult or anything, I just don't know whether or not I need it for these, / whether or not I want that sugar high this early in the morning. This just got out of the oven and it smells delicious. As you can see, the top has a sort of crust to it, and what I would like to happen would be for me to cut into it and find that the inside is nice and soft. I was also thinking about the glaze, and I decided not to make it because I'm going to eat these scones with jam, so they're already going to be sweet enough. I'm just going to cut this in the center and spread the jam. And when I said I had a lot of jam, I meant it. And since the weather is getting slightly cooler, I have a very special fruit, a persimmon. I'm not kidding when I say that I wait the entire year to eat these. I prefer mine to be just shy of ripe and not too soft. Here is the final breakfast, and it smells divine. I have to eat it quickly though because the jam is gonna soak into the scones and no one wants a soggy scone. Starting with this. Wow. There's something about having a freshly baked scone in the morning that just feels so comforting. And it didn't even take as long as I thought it would, only around a half hour. It is a bit long for mornings when you have things to do, but on the weekends when you have a bit of extra time, this is really good. And of course, I can't forget the persimmon. These are exactly the texture that I like them to be. They're just shy of ripe. Listen to this. That is exactly the texture that I like my persimmons to be, and it is not too sweet. Okay, I am going to go enjoy the rest of my breakfast and I will see you soon for lunch. Hello again. A few hours have passed and it is now lunchtime. I, of course, forgot about my tea, so that is cold, but I am hungry. I only had one of those scones and they were pretty small and not filling at all, so I am ready to eat. And since my breakfast wasn't what you would call healthy exactly, I have this broccoli. There we go. I'm gonna be semi-healthy for lunch and make a broccoli pasta. I made the recipe a few days ago and it turned out great, so I want to do it again. And this is, okay, it does have a lot of cream and a lot of cheese in it, but it has broccoli, and some broccoli is better than no broccoli. Here I have my broccoli and I'm just going to cut the tops off, and it should be fairly easy since they look pretty aligned. Okay, now to the garlic, and I should have minced this first because now there's no more room on that small cutting board for this. It's fine, I'll just use the main cutting board. After that, we will start on the sauce, and this is mostly one pot, which is really nice. I am adding in the butter and the garlic, and I will just let that cook until fragrant. Then I will add in the herbs and spices, and I'm using oregano, parsley, basil, onion powder, chili powder, and a liberal amount of salt and pepper. And this is not just any chili powder, this is ghost pepper chili powder, so I treat it very carefully. Right after that, I'm going to pour in the chicken stock. That was around 1 cup of chicken stock, and I'm gonna be honest, I measured with my soul there. But it doesn't really matter if you're too exact because it's gonna reduce down anyway, so if you need more, you can add more, and if you have a lot, then just let it reduce a bit more. I waited around 1 or 2 minutes for this to boil since it is a smaller pot, so it didn't take that long, and now I'm adding in the broccoli. That will cook for a while until it's about halfway reduced, and it's really good this way because the broccoli gets super tender. Now I'm going to add in some half and half, maybe around half a cup. More? I don't know, I measured that with my soul too. And now we wait for this to reduce once more. It has been around 10 minutes and it's at the consistency that I wanted, so I took it off the heat and now I'm adding in the cheese, Parmesan if you were wondering. I put in around a half cup of that. Honestly, more is fine too because it's pretty difficult to put in too much cheese. And finally the pasta. I already had some elbow pasta that I had made way too much of a few days ago, which worked out perfectly for me today. And this is the finished product. I went ahead and put it in a nice bowl. It just smells so cheesy and you can see the steam wafting up from it. It just looks so inviting. This is also gluten-free pasta. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but that's another reason why I cooked it separately as well, because especially with gluten-free pasta, it tends to go from al dente to overcooked very quickly. And when gluten-free pasta gets overcooked, it tends to just fall apart. And so you really have to watch it carefully. I'm gonna try to get some broccoli and some pasta on my fork for the optimal first bite. This is so tasty. The Parmesan really adds an extra kick to it, and because I boiled down that chicken stock so much, it really concentrated the flavor. It's actually quite spicy though. I think I was a bit heavy-handed with the chili powder. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my pasta, and I will see you again in another few hours for dinner. Hi, it is going to be dinner time soon, but I thought I would film this now instead of later before all the daylight goes away. It's starting to get darker sooner now, and I'm sad because I don't want the cold weather to come in just yet. For dinner, I want to eat some protein, specifically salmon. I found this in the freezer, and so I'm just gonna defrost it now, and it should not take too long. I will just go ahead and put this in a bucket of water to defrost. Like this. While that is defrosting, I probably should have done that earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and make the sauce now. So first I will start with soy sauce, and this is a gluten-free soy sauce, of course. To that, I will add brown sugar, maple syrup, sesame oil, and rice vinegar. Next, I'm gonna grate some ginger, and around an inch or so should do. I am usually pretty liberal with ginger whenever I make food because I like a strong ginger flavor anyway, so I don't mind a little extra. I also have to mince some garlic, and a garlic press would be really nice, but sadly my garlic press broke down and it hasn't been replaced quite yet, so mincing it is. And it really doesn't take too long actually. See? Look at that. It's done. That will be added to the bowl along with this, which is water mixed with cornstarch to thicken the sauce. And I'll just give that a good mix. It looks like the salmon is finally defrosted. I just opened the salmon and I saw this hack for pouring boiling water on the skin to make it easier to take off, so let's try it. I want bite-sized pieces, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this into cubes and then I will pour it right into the sauce. That will marinate for around 30 minutes in the fridge and then I will bake it at 400 degrees for around 12 to 15 minutes. This is the final product. It looks so good. The one thing that I always don't really like about getting teriyaki anything at restaurants is that there's never enough sauce. So when I made the sauce, I made extra and I poured it on top. For dinner, when I actually eat this, I'll probably make some rice and eat that with this as well. I liked making this video because it made me want to cook more throughout the day and I liked trying out some new recipes. And it helps that they're all pretty delicious. Well, I guess all that's left now is to eat my dinner, so I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy this beautiful fall day. Bye!